Well, welcome. It is a great honor to welcome you all here this evening. I'm Don Bryan. For me, it's a great honor to host this event tonight. I don't think there's anyone who over the past 30 years who has lived in Dover, visited Dover, read about Dover, drove on the Spalding Turnpike through Dover, who did not hear about the hopes, the dreams, and the vision of a redeveloped Dover waterfront. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Tonight you'll be hearing from and hearing about some of the people who are responsible for us being in this absolutely incredible place tonight. I have to tell you, I had lunch with a visitor just a couple of days ago, a person who had lived in Dover for a number of years, now is living back in his hometown of Concord. And we had lunch and gave him a brief tour of the area. And he said, you know, Dover has to be very proud of this. Concord could never have anything like this. And they're the capital city. I'd like to read to you a statement that has been put out by the city of Dover, and you'll see it on a number of plaques in a number of places. This event takes place at Cochecho within Indakina, now called Dover, New Hampshire, which is the unceded traditional ancestral homeland of the Abenaki, Pennacook, and Wabanaki peoples, past and present. We acknowledge and honor with gratitude the land, waterways, living beings, and the Al-Nabak, the people who have stewarded Indakina for many millennia. You know, we're in this beautiful place with this beautiful pavilion, beautiful park, which is a public park owned by the city of Dover, owned by the people of the city of Dover, beautiful waterway, the absolutely incredible building to my left. We even have a restaurant owned and operated by a James Beard award-winning chef, all here in Dover, New Hampshire. Mike Gillis, Director of Media Services for the City of Dover, has put together a brief historical use of the Cochecho River. Long before Dover was Dover, the Cochecho River was a source of life. To the Abenaki, its name meant the rapid foaming water. And for generations, Pennacook people planted along its high banks, fished its waters, and hunted nearby. European settlement began at Dover Point in 1623, but the waterfront, where we stand today, began to change in 1642 when Major Richard Waldron harnessed the power of the lower falls for a sawmill. From that first industry grew shipbuilding, lumber exports, and a frontier settlement shaped by both promise and violence, including the tragic Cochecho Massacre of 1689, an act of retribution against Waldron for deceiving the land's indigenous people. By the late 1700s, what would be called the Landing had become Dover's commercial heart. Farmers came from inland towns to trade goods and buy supplies. Wharves, stores, a bakery, a distillery, a tannery, and even a newspaper made the riverfront a busy gateway between Dover and a wider world. In the 1800s, the waterfront entered the Golden Age. Gondolas carried cargo through the shallow rivers, while the Cochecho Manufacturing Company's brick cotton mills rose along the riverbanks. By 1840, nearly 200 vessels a year were arriving at Dover Landing. But change came quickly. The arrival of the railroad in 1842 shifted commerce away from the river. A later effort to revive shipping was undone on March 1st, 1896, when a devastating storm, remembered as Dover's Black Day, damaged bridges and filled the river channel with silt. the landing never fully recovered as a commercial port. For much of the 20th century, Dover turned away from the river. The city-owned waterfront was home to public works, city vehicles and school buses, and wastewater treatment. Opening the river again took decades. In the early 1980s, some began advocating for the relocation of the treatment plant and public works facilities, restoring public access, and creating a riverfront park. Today, after generations of change, Dover is returning to the Cochecho. With Nebi Park and this pavilion, public river access, new housing, commercial space, and the now named waterfront district, the riverfront is again becoming what it has always been, a place where Dover's past, present, and future meet. As we said, we will be hearing from many of those who have, over the past nearly 30 years or so, been responsible for this occurring. And I'd like to introduce now Dana Lynch, who was the past chair of the Cochecho Water District Advisory Committee. Dana, it's all yours.
Good evening, and thank you for being here for this celebration. Look at this magnificent park and this beautiful pavilion, and look at what we have achieved as a community. It has been said that the most difficult roads traveled lead to the most beautiful destinations. In this case, I prefer to think of it as the most challenging roads traveled, and we, the citizens of Dover, have embraced that challenge in order to arrive at this day in history when the Dover waterfront is reborn. Before I recall some of the key events that have brought us to this day, I would be remiss if I didn't recognize a group of dedicated and talented individuals who have made it their mission to act as guardians of the community's vision throughout the planning, design, and construction of this entire waterfront restoration and revitalization effort. I speak, of course, of my fellow members of the Cochecho Waterfront Development Advisory Committee, or as we affectionately call it, QWDIC. This committee of volunteers appointed by the City Council is a unified group comprised of diverse professions and experiences. I would like our current membership to stand as I read their names. And if they're not here, they're going to need a note from their doctor. We'll start with our current chair, Norm Fracassa. Steve Brown. I don't see Steve here. Attorney Matt Cox. Kyle Pimental. Kyle, I've seen you somewhere. Where are you? Oh, there he is back there. Our very own Kim Schuman. Where's Kim? Elizabeth Goldman. One of our other past chairs, Jack Meddy. And hiding beside Jack is Sean Fitzgerald. And also hiding with that group is former Mayor Bob Carrier. I'd also like to mention our ex officio members, Deanne Marcura, Director of the Dover Housing Authority, Mayor Dennis Shanahan, and our City Manager, Mike Joyle. The common thread among all the members of QWDIC who have served over the last 22 years is that they have shared a passion for the success of this redevelopment project. including this park and pavilion we have gathered to dedicate today. Through their dedication and unyielding vision, they have done the challenging work, made the difficult decisions, and overcome the obstacles inherent in the completion of a project of this scale. They have taken exacting care to weave this project into the natural features and constraints of this site with the utmost respect for the environment and the community's vision. They all deserve our recognition and thanks for a job well done. While I'm in the thank you mode, I would also like to offer thanks on behalf of Quiddick and our entire community to Chris Parker, our Deputy City Manager, for his guidance and support throughout this project, and Jamie Stevens. I know you're here somewhere, Jamie. There he is. Jamie Stevens, the city's project manager for construction of this beautiful space and all of the public infrastructure built in the last 3 years. My first visit to where we stand today was in 1984. As a younger, much younger, civil and environmental engineer, I worked for a firm that has secured a small contract with the city to obtain permitting for some limited dredging of the Cochecho River with the intention of improving navigation safety. The waterfront had become an area downtown that had succumbed to neglect and was bypassed by the urban renewal efforts of the 1970s. Its primary uses, as Don Bryan mentioned, were the city's sewage treatment plant, the public works garage, school bus storage, and road salt piles. As I attempted to obtain soil samples along the river's edge to be tested for contaminants, the treatment plant pumps roared to life and a plume of raw sewage bubbled up in the middle of the river. A spectacle in no need of any further description. In 1985, I co-founded Civil Works Incorporated with my partner, Paul, an engineering consulting firm, and we became members of the Greater Dover Chamber of Commerce. It was through this affiliation that I was asked to be part of the Waterfront Task Force in 1990. And during my tenure as chair of the task force, my eyes were first opened to the possibilities for reuse of the city-owned land, as well as the goals of the community. The energy and enthusiasm of the task force and the citizens who attended our meetings provided thoughtful ideas such as a desire for public gathering space and access along the river. Several of us found ourselves dedicated to making the vision of the community become a reality. Little did we know how our patience and perseverance would be tested. As the government and Dover city to government and Dover citizenry attempted to wrap their arms around the challenges ahead, steps were taken through the 1990s to prepare the site for redevelopment. The sewage treatment plant was relocated to its current location off of Middle Road, and city staff secured coastal grant funds to restore Henry Law Park, just upstream. The park restoration became an opportunity with support from the Chamber of Commerce Waterfront Committee to increase community awareness and involvement. The Waterfront Committee and the city staff worked together to organize a 2-day-long community design event known as a charrette, which culminated in a celebration attended by hundreds in the newly renovated park. A charrette report which further documented the community's vision and goals for the waterfront redevelopment effort was issued in 1996. Public interest and support continued to grow in the late 1990s, and the turn of the century brought with it additional infrastructure improvements, again, focused on preparation of the site for future development. In 2001, the Public Works facility, now known as Community Services, was relocated to Mast Road. Between 2008 and 2010, the Macomb Bridge was designed and constructed, providing a direct connection linking the future waterfront to the central business district. And after several years of politics and permitting, the Cochecho River dredging took place to reestablish a navigable channel in the entire river. In 2004, Quiddick was established by the City Council. The original Truette report was revisited and revised, and shortly thereafter, the first request for proposals from developers was issued. This first engagement with a potential developer fell by the wayside, in large part due to the Great Recession of 2008. But most importantly, it raised questions and lessons were learned through this initial process, and it gave Quiddick and city officials a clearer picture of what the city's role as a participating partner in creating the waterfront would be. And that would be a role that best served the public's interest. In 2018, Quiddick issued a new request for proposals, and after an extensive interview and deliberation process, we recommended that the city enter into a partnership with Cathartis, the developers of these impressive buildings along River Street. The last 6 or 7 years have been consumed by design, coordination, and construction, during which time the city and Cathartis have worked together in a cooperative and collaborative effort towards fulfilling the community's vision for public access to the river and a place where people can live, work, and play. So, after 35 years, I feel privileged and grateful to stand before you today. Many have given their time and energy to this lengthy effort, and we should all be proud of the magnificent result. While Nebi Park is a true testament to the resilience, determination, and patience of the entire Dover community over the past 4 decades, it is also a gift for the enjoyment of future generations. As I look back in preparation of this abridged trip down memory lane, you wouldn't want the full version. What consistently comes to mind are the life lessons learned along the way, and most importantly, the friendships created. This successful outcome has evolved over time, but the challenges along the way have not deterred us, and in fact, they have seeded an improved project outcome. We have done this together. We should all be proud of this betterment of our community, and I would ask that to act upon this feeling of pride, let us make every effort to treat this public space with the honor and respect it deserves, ensuring its enjoyment for generations to come. So on behalf of my colleagues on Quiddick, past and present, we thank all of you, the community volunteers, city officials, and staff, and consultants, and skilled tradesmen and women who have together turned our community's vision into a reality. And finally, I would like to thank all of you for being with us today to celebrate this most beautiful destination. It is my privilege at this time to introduce Jeff Johnston. He is the Managing Director for Cathartis and our partners in this success story. Jeff?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Cochecho Waterfront District. Thank you all for being here to celebrate the Truette, the opening of the Truette, which has the best views of Nebi Park. Before I say anything else, I want to recognize the people who made today possible. Thank you to Mayor Dennis Shanahan for your leadership, and thank you to former Mayor Bobby Carrier, who helped guide this project through some of its most important early years. Thank you to City Manager Mike Joyle. Congratulations on your retirement. We're going to miss you. And Assistant Manager Chris Parker in the back here. You both have been outstanding partners. Thank you to the city staff who did so much of the real work behind the scenes. Those include Jamie Stevens, Donna Benton, John Storr, Josh Wyatt, Ken Mavro-George, and of course Steve Bird, who showed up in shorts today. Like Dana, I also want to recognize the Cochecho Waterfront Development Advisory Committee, especially two of the original members, Dana Lynch and Jack Meddy. Thank you for helping set this vision in motion back when this property was just an underutilized DPW site. To Norm Fracassa, who chairs the committee today, and every member who served on QUITIC over the years, this project does not exist without your time, judgment, and thoughtful input. That story for us started back in 2018, when Cathartis responded to the city's request for proposals to develop this vacant site. We are thankful the city put its trust in our team to collaborate on creating a master plan, including the building we're standing in front of today. The Truette is 220 new homes, and since opening, we have been lucky enough to move in 165 new residents, a great response from the market on both the quality of the building and waterfront location. Downstairs, as has been mentioned, Topolino has opened its doors to Chef Evan Hennessy, a Dover native and now the James Beard Award winner for Best Chef in the Northeast. We are thrilled to welcome Topolino as our first retail tenant. And just a few weeks ago, this project earned the 2026 Merit Award of Excellence from Plan New Hampshire, recognition for exactly the kind of public-private collaboration that made this possible. Dana Lynch and I accepted that award together. Standing there with him, and we talked, as Dana said tonight, I learned that Dana has been working on this project since 1990, which is about the time I finished UNH and started my career in real estate in Dover down at the Sawyer Mills. So 35 years later, to be standing here with Dana, cutting a ribbon on this beautiful building on the stretch of Cochecho, it's a bit of a full circle moment for me, and I'm proud to be here on behalf of our team at Cathartis. The next phase you can see going up behind us, it's being topped off today. That will house 43 new waterfront condominiums, which we've branded Revel. Elan Realty has recently begun the marketing on these homes, and we expect that building to be completed by the end of first quarter next year. I would like to thank our team, including Windover Construction, Embark, CJ Architects, Ty and Bond, Robbie Woodburn, who I saw here tonight, Wind Management, the Boulis Company, GC Consulting, and Elan Realty, and especially to our capital partners who took a big risk to come up to Dover, including Eastern Bank, Salem 5 Bank, Camden National Bank, Bangor Savings Bank, and Earls Fort Capital. We can hold applause to the end, thank you. The Cathartis team has put so much time and effort to make this such a special place. So I'd like to recognize Rob Simmons, Pat Bowler, and Greg Goldenberg, who are involved in the permitting and construction, and Jackie Huber and Sarah Wolf, who have been turning this building into a real community and were a big part of putting this event together today. So we are excited to continue the city's vision and build out the remaining parts of the Cochecho waterfront. So congratulations to the city of Dover, to QUITIC, but most of all to the residents of the city who have a new park, a new neighborhood, and a riverfront they can finally get back to. We're proud to be partnering with you on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. And Dana, thank you for shepherding the organization through those 30-plus years. Just to let you know that Dana's efforts were recognized by the Greater Dover Chamber of Commerce several years ago when he was named Dover's Volunteer of the Year, a well-deserved award. Now, to celebrate some of those key individuals who led the project through the years, please welcome to the podium the Honorable Mayor of the City of Dover, Dennis Shanahan.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? So for the visitors who are here, I hope you are enjoying the park, going to go out and enjoy some dinner when you're done. To the residents of Dover, welcome to your Nebi Park. So I want to bring to your attention a dedication plaque off to my right, your left, and it recognizes numerous contributors to the project, past and current mayor and city councilors, project managers, key city staff members, architects, designers, engineers, builders, the State of New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services, and the Land and Water Conservation Fund. And you'll see another plaque for the Land and Water Conservation Fund. We're very generous with a donation to help us build this pavilion. And the members, of course, of the Cochecho Waterfront Advisory Committee, the QUITIC, that you're going to hear just a little bit more about as I talk about a few of the key members. And they spent untold hours guiding this project from an unoccupied industrial site to the beautiful park we have today. And in particular, the city appreciates the strong relationship with Jeff Johnston, Cathartis, as this project has progressed. Partnering with them on this project in 104 Washington has been absolutely transformative for our downtown. So of special note are 5 members. And I'm looking around the corner at one of them because he's just going to love this part. The 5 members that I've mentioned before, but I want to give you a little background on that. Steve Bird. Steve dedicated much of the 25 years he was with the city of Dover supporting the redevelopment of this area, the city's River Street district, and making sure the waterfront was developed in accordance with the city's vision, which was set by the residents of Dover. As city planner and primary liaison to the Dover Housing Authority and QUITIC, his attention to detail, dedication to public service, and strong depth of knowledge, his ability to communicate plans and the community's vision to planners and the public with ease, and his patience, and understanding have earned him the admiration, respect, and trust of his peers, and he has a reputation of being a true public servant. The open public spaces on the shores of the Cochecho are reflective of his interest in conservation and preservation planning. Thank you, Steve, for all your work. Jack Buckley. Jack was an early proponent of the redevelopment of this parcel. Beginning in 1979, he served 33 years as the director of Dover Housing Authority, after serving as a member of the Dover City Council and as mayor to the city. In addition to guiding the growth of the Housing Authority, Jack was instrumental in bringing the Children's Museum of New Hampshire to Dover in 2007, and with promoting the creation of QUITIC as an independent entity to guide the development of the waterfront without interference. Thank you, Jack. Dana Lynch. Dana's been a dedicated supporter of the Dover waterfront for more than 30 years. He was one of the original citizens appointed by the City Council to serve on QUITIC 2005, and he's been a diligent and respected chair of the committee from 2018 to 2023, that crucial period when the project transitioned from design to planning and construction. As a civil engineer, his professional background helped the committee navigate the design and development of the waterfront project. This lengthy process involved the collaboration of scientists, professional designers, city staff, city elected officials, and the public. His experience and knowledge proved invaluable in mentoring the committee members to face complex design, permitting, and process issues to bring the waterfront redevelopment into fruition. In recognition of his contributions, as you heard, Dana has twice been named Volunteer of the Year by the Greater Dover Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Dana. Norm Fracassa. Norm has served on QUITIC since 2005, is only the 3rd chair of that committee, and he's been doing that from 2023 to present. He has been the hammer to drive this project home. A consistent volunteer with a passion for public spaces, Norm was instrumental in the committee's oversight of the construction process for the city-owned improvements, including Nebi Park and the beautiful pavilion we are in today. His skills as a landscape architect, attention to detail, and ability to develop the creative solutions throughout the design to construction phase have helped guide the committee through the process and ensure the public's best interest was first and foremost. Thank you, Norm. So behind us, about 100 feet away, is a sculpture. The sculpture you see across the lawn is River Roots by Durham, New Hampshire artist Andrea Bowen. This sculpture was the product of funding that came from the Dover 400th Committee after celebrating our 400th anniversary in 2023. Its design depicts a ship's hull with roots extending into the river. This highlights the importance of the river and the people and the cargo it carried to those that lived before European settlement, and then after the role that the river played in the city's expansion after the settlement occurred. So take a look at that on your way through the park, and now you might have a better understanding of the sculpture itself. So I'd like to recognize some folks that are here. We have our Executive Counselor, Joe Kenny. We have State Senator David Waters, State Representative Luce Bay, State Representative Jessica Lamontagne, and any that I have missed because I haven't checked you all in. We appreciate you all coming out to support this. And now it's also my pleasure to introduce Sarah Holmes from Senator Jeanne Shaheen's office with a few comments from the Senator. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor. I think I can say confidently that Senator Shaheen would love to be here today. Unfortunately, she's in Washington, so I'm pleased to share this letter from her. Dear friends, thank you for the invitation to the ribbon cutting for the new Nebi Park. Congratulations to all those who are involved with this project, which, as we've heard, is a very long list. I hope you feel a sense of accomplishment as you look around the park, recognizing that your years of hard work and planning have culminated in the creation of this wonderful new space. Local parks and natural spaces are essential to building strong and thriving communities. The city of Dover has long sought to reconnect the city to the Cochecho River waterfront and establish this new natural space as a centerpiece of a robust and modern waterfront district. This new addition will bring many environmental, economic, and social benefits to Dover, and its thoughtful design and exciting amenities show the care that went into its development. With the formal opening of Nebi Park, residents can now gather in this accessible space and enjoy the company of friends and neighbors at community events, as well as the beautiful New Hampshire outdoors. Congratulations once again. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and please enjoy your new park. Sincerely, Jeanne Shaheen, United States Senator.
I have an epilogue. Because there were two Jacks, I'd like to mention the fifth in this group, Jack Meddy. Jack, you're still out there. A professional community planner with a history of service to others, Jack has been instrumental in shaping and directing volunteer efforts to make the Cochecho waterfront development become reality since 1996. Jack was selected by the city on the first Quiddick in 2005 and served as chair 2008 to 2017. His professionalism and calm demeanor helped Quiddick during the early years of study, analysis, and consensus building necessary to move this project forward. His devotion to community vision, his ability to facilitate public input and build agreement has been invaluable, and he is an appreciated asset to this endeavor. Thank you, Jack, and I apologize for the oversight.
As we've mentioned, this beautiful river has been the home of indigenous people since the beginning of time, perhaps. If you would please welcome to the podium to present an Abenaki song, Denise and Paul Pulio.
Nandakina, hoey, hoey. Holy, go on, gone. Hoey. Holy, get in a wasp. Holy, get in a wasp. Nanakina, away, away. Holy, go on, gone. Away. Holy, get in a wasp. Holy, get in a wasp.
Kwai Nidobak, Indelawasin Denise Pulio, Sagamasqua, Woodelawasin Paul Pulio, Sagamo, Kawasak Band of the Pennacook Abenaki people, Kiona Ayan Odna Kuunipi. Hello, friends. My name is Denise Pulio. I'm the head female speaker, and this is Paul Pulio, the head male speaker-in-chief of the Kawasak Band of the Pennacook Abenaki people. We come to you today from our ancient Pennacook village called Odanakuunipi, which translates to the village of the narrowing of waters, now known as Alton, New Hampshire. We began by singing a traditional Abenaki song honoring our homelands and creator. We sang Ndakina, which translates to our homelands, thanks to all our relations, thanks to the great mystery of life, the creator. We stand here today at Cochecho, meaning the place of the rapid currents, and welcome you to Nebi Park. Nebi translates to the word water in the Pennacook Abenaki language. As water people, the Abenaki recognized Nebi as being a fundamental necessity in all aspects of life. As a word considered so sacred within our community as a life-giving resource that in our language, the word Nebi becomes the root word for medicine. Nebizon, which stands for medicine. Nebizon Ebi, which stands for medicine water. Nebizon Kikon, which stands for medicine field or a garden. Nebizon Wogan, which stands for medicine lodge or a place of healing. Nebi Park is a place to access and connect with the water, Nebi, the Aki, lands, the Olakwikak, flora, and the Awaasak, fauna. A gift to strengthen our community, giving us all 3.5 acres to play, to heal, and to build new memories with each other. Kitsi Oleoni, Kitsi Nawas, Tamidikwal Daminana, Olido Gowangan. We give great thanks to the Creator that we remember still. Thank you all.
That ends our formal presentation for this evening. We would like to remind you of several things. We will be doing a ribbon cutting in just a few moments here to formally open Nebi Park to the public, and then we will walk across the street, and you are all invited to witness the official opening of the Truette with a ribbon cutting just across the street. To remind you, Dover's brand new 3.5-acre urban park features Dover's 400th anniversary sculpture, plenty of green space, walkways, river overlooks, a diverse and colorful landscape, swing benches, a gorgeous public pavilion, restrooms, kayak and paddle rentals, various seating and gathering spaces in plazas, a paddle sports dock, and more. This park designed with a favorite sport for everyone to enjoy. And it is your park. This is indeed a public park. You are more than welcome to please explore the park before you leave this evening and visit one of the many wonderful restaurants downtown. Enjoy your evening, and please, if you would join us for the ribbon cutting ceremony, which is going to take place just to my left in just a few minutes, which will formally open Nebi Park. Thank you very much for coming this evening.
Happiness. And cut away, please. Oh, okay.